Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest edition of Tales from Outer Space. Hope you enjoy. Story number 1, SciFi, written by IMO Iraset. The galaxy is a very diverse place. Many sapient races, both organic and synthetic, ascend to the stars, colonize planets, and form their own polities. Some are peaceful, some are warlike, some are authoritarian, while others are egalitarian. Some are federations, some are republics, some are hive minds, some are monarchies, some are dictatorships, some are theocracies, some are megacorporations. Some are something else. Wars and conflicts are common. Alliances are shattered, reformed, and replaced. Enemies become allies, and allies become enemies. Conflict plagues the galaxy, and peace and order is unknown to all but the pre-spaceflight races. Peace and order, if they are ever there, are short, fragile, and delicate. So it would come as an oddity that one planet remains safe despite all of this, Earth and the humans that reside on it. The humans obviously have spaceflight capability. They even had manned missions to Sol 4 and Sol 2. They have FTL drives to explore the galaxy, and they did for a time before withdrawing into their continental world. The humans remain neutral. They welcome all that intend to trade and make them friends, but they have denied any alliances. Why is it that Earth is safe from the quagmires of war? Well, let us find out using an example of the latest alien warlord trying to prove his might by conquering the human homeworld. Salziak von Zond is a Metessian warlord. Metessians are basically a race of crocodile men with tentacle arms. Don't ask me how they became like that. Evolution is weird. Anyways, Salziak is currently leading a fleet to conquer Earth. 4,000 destroyers, 7,500 cruisers, 1,000 battleships, 20 carriers, and 1 flagship. Pretty sizable for conquering a single planet without any spaceflight. The fleet stops at Earth orbit, no doubt already been spotted by satellites and planet-bound scanners. The warlord sends out a message, translated to various human languages. I am Salziak von Zont, the Conqueror. I have come to invade and conquer your planet, humans. Surrender and no death shall occur. The message was received, obviously. It was sent to the human internet after all, but optical observations do not show any sign of panic. Odd. The fleet did not receive any reply. 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, nothing. So Salziak simply decided to launch orbital strikes on population centers and military installations. Except the ships never fired because they were destroyed. A group of aerospace objects of various assortments and make made their way to the fleet. The grand tear spells of Terran magical kingdom mages, cultivators, from the heavenly alliance flying on swords, commanding the heavens and earth to bend to their whims and strike down ship after ship. The rugged steampunk ships of the British Imperial Federation, firing mass-accelerated rounds, heavily ornamented ships of the Holy Terran Empire, proclaiming their faith and loyalty to the destruction of the enemies in front of them. The living ships of the gene crafters of the human hive. Only the flagship was spared. After all of its cannons, lasers, and plasma launchers were destroyed or disabled, and from Earth came only one reply. Specify which Earth you declare war to next time. End of story. Story number 2. The Spartan, written by Louis Le Diamond. Everyone knows you need numbers at least equal to your enemies if you wish for an advantage to defeat a defense. If you have more, then the defense is going to struggle to hold you back. Anything after double and the defense cannot hold it. It's impossible. That's what everyone thought anyways. And then we met the humans. According to human intelligence, it's never been 1-to-1 odds to defeat a defense. It's always been at least 3-to-1, at minimum. We all believe this to be a wild exaggeration made by the humans to make themselves seem more powerful. Not an uncommon technique when being introduced to the wider galaxy, but never one that stands the test of battle. I realize now that rather than a hyperbole, it's quite the opposite. A swarm of Zelian destroyers surrounds the beast of a ship, yet it stays airborne, the Spartan-class corvette. the Leonide, as this one was dubbed. Fire grips the heart of the beast as metal peels paper from its hull. The guns slug projectiles at the advanced sterilized class ships it battles. Just one corvette against the hundreds that attack our planet. Just one corvette heeded our call. But just that one corvette was all it took. The enemy landed not long after losing hundreds of destroyers. Most fled to the surface. The Leonidas was forced to retreat for repairs, and the space battle had cleared out for now. But enemy troops moved on our cities. Even with scattered ranks, the millions of troops were enough to overrun our outnumbered defenses. City after city fell. Drazes, Polterpomes, Hesselin, Parthuna, all fell within days. A human fleet arrived soon after to battle the approaching enemy fleet. They shuttled human troops to the ground, outnumbered again. The human troops barely had a few thousand. The enemy marched on Euthipa, my city, my home, my people. A sea of invaders outside our gate. Our mayor almost surrendered had the human commander not stepped in. The enemy general demanded surrender. The human refused, and so a siege began. We packed out belongings and prepared to lose our city and lives. But the city did not fall. The human defenses were tenacious. Every last bullet was to be spent before they gave up. Artillery and anti-air ripped into the enemy armor and air support. Soon, the millions of invaders turned into hundreds of thousands, then tens of thousands, then mere thousands. The humans had barely lost 10. By week 2, the invasion was crushed and the siege broken. The humans had laid waste to the Zelians' army and to their pride. Never again would we question human defense. Never again would we underestimate them. As the new threat of extragalactic invaders begin to prod our human defenders, let us never forget that faithful battle so few decades ago. Humans are defenders. Humans are warriors. Humans possess the spirit of the Spartans. End of story. Story number 3. The Human Revenge, written by Brew Foker. We broke our oaths when the Hygoras declared war on humanity. We should have kept our oaths and helped the humans. The Hygoras are a powerful enemy, but with the combined fleets we could defeat them. But why do that? Just because we signed a piece of paper centuries ago? Humans were a race of traders and scientists. They would understand that it's just business. Without humans, all trade routes they controlled would be ours. Hygoras don't care about trade. They are waging war because humans are against slavery. No species cared about that. Only humans, not even the races they freed, offered help. Each race was calculating what they could take after the fall of humanity. When, after years of war, humans finally retreated to their home planet, we all knew the end was near. They begged through all channels for help, and we all turned our backs on them. So, they did the unthinkable. Some species did similar things when they ran out of options, aimed the planetary defenses against the planet itself. It's not something that happened often, but in the history of the galaxy, it wouldn't be the first or the last time. The entire Sol system was destroyed, and with it, the Hygoras fleet. Humanity no longer existed. We never understood what happened. We had seen destruction of planets, but not of entire solar system. We prepared expeditions to form human colonies, expeditions that never returned. Only when the main star of the homeworld Hygoras disappeared did we discover what happened. Humanity no longer existed, but even in defeat, they would not disappear without a fight and without taking revenge on everyone who betrayed them. With their defensive platforms fired at Earth and the Sun, it was not a simple plasma shot or an antimatter bomb, as everyone had assumed, but a primordial particle shot, a strangelet shot that consumed the Earth and every object in the Sol system. After Earth fell, every human colony that was already occupied by enemies at the same time detonated a strangelet charge in its core. Every human ship, every defense platform, every hyper-navigation beacon fired a strangelet weapon at their targets, and initiated self-destruction. All the weapons of humanity have come together for one last act of vengeance. One after another, the stars and planets of the races that betrayed humanity were hit. One after another, they fell. Now, it is our turn. I can see our sun getting brighter and brighter. I would ask for forgiveness, but there is not a single human to listen. I send this warning to those who can still escape. Leave your worlds, leave your colonies, for human revenge is on the way. End of story. I would just quickly like to thank the T5 channel members and patrons. Caspar Arnholtz, Cam Maxwell, Parky, It's Difficult to Pronounce, Lord Azrakul, and Arcadian.